What's going on, Mrs. Metal? Hello, Rebecca. Look at there. There's Ed. What's going on, man? I figured I would go live. I got a bit of a road trip to make here, so ain't finding much time for the YouTubes anyway, so might as well take y'all on a live trip. What's going on, NCK? Sitting in the sun? You doing better than me, Mrs. Metal, because it's cloudy and currently 49 down here. And y'all excuse me talking with my mouth full because I'm going to eat about lunch before we get out on the road trip. Hey, PJ. Oh, I'm going to be headed back to Houston, Ed. Nothing too exciting. I figured we could chit-chat along the way. Of course, y'all know me, so it's probably going to go off the rails pretty quick. Well, maybe this holder I got here will work, and the noise in the truck won't be too bad. Y'all all ready for spring? Yeah, PJ, I can't complain. Hey, Jennifer. Well, I didn't know there was going to be a live either. I just kind of hit the button. Have you seen the new emu named after your name there, Jennifer? The girls are so excited. Last year they were actually born on the girl's birthday, so we didn't quite make the same day this year, but close. And yes, Billy, if another one hatches, I'm going to name it after you. Why not? Ed, I never did get my barbecue sauce, man. What happened? What's up with that? They are the weirdest little creature, I tell you. They born and don't look nothing like it is whenever they get bigger. Well, man, they got the mail service. Don't be scared to mail it. Come on. I could use some good barbecue sauce. If I waited on y'all guys to come down here and see me, I would never get nothing. Oh, y'all have a gander at the Mexican taco for lunch. What's going on, Sam? Hey, Rebecca. Regal Freeman. Yes, sir, Regal. I am in, I shouldn't say sir, I guess. Yes, I'm in Texas. When am I going to be back to my property? Well, I'm there every week, man. Got the animals to take care of. I can't be gone too long. Well, NCK, that the guy right up there at Whistle Stop Homestead, he's got a hell of a barbecue sauce recipe. Hey, MB. Oh, man, well, you be sure and get a copy of that and post it. We'd like to see it. Yeah, I should be around next weekend. Yes, Jennifer, it is. What, Heritage Farms in here? I didn't see. What's going on, Scott? Yeah, Jennifer, it is a lot of driving back and forth. But if you want to get out of the city and have a farm, there's going to be some driving involved. I want to see something cool, go over to Heritage Farms channel and look at that new metal water hose he's got. I think that's a pretty cool idea. He says no kink, so what's going on, Ark Living? Where you been, man? There's an old timer right there. How come you quit making videos, bro? I kind of miss your old randomlings you used to have. Yeah, well, it's about the same for me to get home, Jennifer. About 3.5, 4 hours. But you know, if you really want to get out of the city, it needs to be a few hours out. If you're trying to get away from the city problems. Yeah, Sam, I'm kind of ready for your journey, man. I hope you're able to video some of it and put it up. Got back from my territory. I see how you are. You done been down here 2 or 3 times and don't ever give me a ring. Well, hello, SNA. Well, while I'm sitting here, I'll make a few of you guys moderators. I like moderating, even though I don't do no moderators, but it sure allows you to get around a lot easier and check out other people's channels, so makes it handy. Not country enough? Yeah. Well, you do have a place out there where you can kind of do what you want and not have to worry about too many people. But you are up there in Canada, so the government's always over your shoulder. Yeah, Ed, I've been trying to watch you a little bit, but YouTube on my end is definitely funky. I don't hardly get notified of anybody anymore. What's going on, Red? Yeah, I figured I'd get on here and take you all along for my little drive. Got a few reasons. I hear you. These last few months for me have been kind of tough on YouTube too, man. I don't know. All this seems to have turned into the propaganda game and the I need to be famous and make money game, and ain't nobody really telling the truth anymore. Hey, TVB. Well, it could definitely be nicer weather for sure. We was in the 70s a few days ago. And it cooled off again, so, you know, it gives you that spring fever itch where you really want to get outside. And it gets cold and wet and dreary again. I never have been a cold weather person, so the warmer the better for me. But I've already got stuff going in the ground for the garden and lots of seeds started, and 15, woo-wee. Nope. I'm just not a cold weather person. By the time I get enough clothes on and suits on and thermals on and everything to stay warm, I can't even move outside. Boy, the little Mexican girls in here in the local store just make a hell of a taco. And that homemade green sauce they got is, woo, it's on point. Yeah, PJ, I think our weather just keeps getting weirder and weirder. We were in Houston for 7 or 8 years and never got a freeze, and then here the last 3 or 4 years it's frozen every year. Well, you're really dang cold, NCK, and my really cold are probably two different colds, because if it's 60, I'm looking for the insulated bibs. Denton. Yeah, finding one of those little homemade roadside taco shops is there. Once you find a good one, What's going on, Wendy? We're fixing to make the drive to Houston, so figured I'd let everybody ride along, at least till I run out of signal. You know, that's how you can tell when you're far enough into the country, when you ain't got enough signal on your phone. I can barely talk, much less run a live, so. Well, hello, sugar. I guess that's my other one. What's going on, Eric? Yeah, homemade jalapeno salsa. Woo. Good stuff, good stuff. That'll almost make or break the taco. What's going on, Mr. Carroll? Well, thanks, Red. Yeah, there's been a lot of sickness going around. Thankfully, this year, of course, with the girls being homeschooled and everything, our family has avoided being sick, knock on wood. But all kinds of crap going around out there. What's going on, Backlash? Hey, Belt Loop. We just gonna make a little drive here. For all y'all that might be in and around the Texas area, Devil Dog and Belt Loop and a few of those guys are gonna be having an upcoming little meetup. If y'all got a video up, Belt Loop, about it, drop it in the chat there. There may be some people around Texas that want to go. Hey SGT, how's it going? Oh, man, that was a good taco. Well, now you're done, Backlash. Just come down here and do some shopping for me. Okay, well, let me prepare myself for the journey here a momento. Caribou, what's up, man? Where'd you been? How come you ain't making no videos? I tell you, I found some people on YouTube I like watching, and all we do is they don't up and quit. You and Ark both. Well, I appreciate you dropping in. We're fixing to get underway here. How's things up there in the Arctic, Caribou? Yeah, I hear you, man. Too busy. Busy, busy. That's what makes the world go round. Chacho's. I don't think I've ever been to Chacho's. There's lots of authentic Tex-Mex places around that are pretty good. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, I guess I better put on my seatbelt here where my self-driving vehicle will help take care of itself. Oh. Well, hello, dear wife. I'm on the way. I mean, they sell pizza in there, but that's my little local Mexican taco shack. Maybe I'll keep up with y'all too much. Riverway. But y'all don't worry. My truck keeps itself between the lines. Is it choppy already? Well, like I said, we'll see how long it holds out. Maybe a little ways, maybe not long at all. We'll give it a shot. Yeah, well, I probably will if it cuts off. I'll wait a couple hours here until I get closer to civilization and I may restart. That was clear and pretty here Riverway, but the last couple of days, rainy and cold. Trust me, nobody's more ready for spring than me. Everything is laying and hatching around the farm. Emus are hatching. Turkeys are laying. I got them in the incubator. Of course, we've been hatching chickens all year. Took chickens out of the incubators this morning. Added more eggs in. I probably got 100 in the incubators. Lots of stuff ready for the garden. Just ready for that last little freeze we're gonna get. I know we're gonna get one, and All the fruit trees are budded out and flowered out. Yeah, Jennifer, they're Breezy's. We do sell them, chickens and eggs. I try not to sell any chicks that have to be shipped, but I do send eggs, fertilized eggs that you can hatch. It seems to be a little easier in the process. We can start early enough down here, PJ, that I don't have to worry about starting too many seeds. They just go directly in the ground. Can I deliver eggs? Well, it can probably be arranged. For the delivery price, you might be able to buy a small farm. If y'all can see way back over there in the distance, the hills out here in the country. For all the trees, nobody thinks it's hilly out here, but we got some pretty good sized hills. Yeah, shipping is absolutely insane. I live a couple of weeks ago, I gave away some t-shirts and stuff, and not everybody's contacted me back with their shipping, so I hadn't forgot about the winners. I'm going to mail them all out. I'm just going to give everybody maybe another week or so to get me their address, and then they're just going to miss out. So once I run to town to do shipping, I'm going to do it all at once. Our local little farmers markets out there. The guy sells beef. Thought about trying to make him a deal and trading some chickens for some beef. I think I'll probably be taking a lot of produce over there to him. We'll see if he can sell some of the produce, extra produce out of the garden this year maybe. How are the signals? Is it still spotty? I'll get in the eternal circle of doom. Yeah, PJ, I just love the emus out here on the property. They're probably my favorite. Signal good? Good deal. I know there's one area out here that it gets pretty slim picking, so if I hang around that long, I'll probably have to let you go and come back on afterwards, but there's a few miles out here where there just ain't anything. Yeah, Riverway, I tell you, I kind of enjoy being out there in the middle of nowhere. Seems like a lot less drama going on. I don't even know if I'm in live chat or top chat or if I'm seeing all of y'all. I don't care, but we're going to the big city of Houston, man. 4th largest city in the U.S., largest in Texas. We going to town. You're gonna have to hang around a few hours to see it, but look at that green grass, caribou. I know you ain't seen none of that in a while. You thought about it. Well, come on down, man. We still love y'all Canadians, no matter what the government says. Yeah, they pretty cool, PJ. I mean, I guess if you get them when they're small enough, you know, they're tame and a pet pretty much. So I can walk up and pet mine and mess around them, no problem. Ain't got to worry about them. I don't think winter or summer or spring or the seasons at all have been normal anywhere, man. I don't know if it's just the earth changes or the climate changes or the government jacking with us or spraying us or what the hell is going on, but weather is crazy. I said earlier, man, down in Houston, we didn't see freezes for 7 or 8 years when we was over there. And in these last few years, 3 or 4 years, we've gotten not just freezes, but it's been down to like 0 in Houston, man. That's crazy. I mean, we're subtropical down there. That's what killed all of my oranges and apples and grapefruit trees down there a few years ago. All right, Red, thanks for stopping by. Stay safe out there. We got our nearest little town out here. Once we kind of get out of here a little ways, we'll be out in the, back out in the sticks. This is our local little city speed trap here. I got this posted at 45 miles an hour, and when you come over this little hill right up here, it's a 70 mile an hour zone. So you go from 70 down to 45. See here, they got 45 mile an hour speed limit, and then 100 feet ahead of it, they got a 55 mile an hour speed limit. On the other side, coming into town, you go from 70 to 45. Oh, Ricky just wants to play with the emus. He just wants to smell them. Well, Eric, it ain't just pneumonia anymore. People can't just have asthma or the flu or you know, the normal sicknesses that we used to get. Now it's all bioengineered. Rose Sharon. Texas is a pretty good sized place, man. We kind of got a little bit of everything. Where we live here in East Texas, it's the piney woods, so this is where you get all your forest in East Texas. Of course, South Texas, you got the ocean, if you want to call it that, the beach. West Texas is the desert. A few little mountains out there. North Texas, well, there just ain't a whole hell of a lot in North Texas. Scrub brush and fences and cows, so I like Texas so that I ain't got to mess with all of those 4 seasons. Generally, it's just warm. It's been getting so cold here lately the last few years, me and the wife be thinking about the Caribbean. Costa Rica or somewhere. The less snow, the better. What's going on, JW? On the road headed out. Figured I'd take everybody along for the trip. The long, boring drive. Didn't know if I could keep it up too long without this thing going off the rails, but how's that sound? Is the wind too bad? Can you still hear me? I know my other truck, them tires are so damn big and mud grips on there, you couldn't hear yourself talk going down the road with the cab. What's going on, PLS? We just out for a road trip. Sounds good. Right on. 5x5. Thanks, Sam. Thank y'all. What do y'all want to chit chat about? You know, if I sit on here and did I get a new truck? Yeah, Wendy. It's a new Chevy half-ton 1500 crew cab. Same as the last one. Kind of comes down to the old rule, you know, come the end of the year when it's tax time, if you don't spend it, they're just going to tax you on it, so you might as well upgrade yourself. What's going on, Blackbird? I have not had the best luck with the Chevys that I used to have with Chevy. Seems like every manufacturer's got something going wrong. All these new vehicles. Alright, Eric. Well, thanks for stopping by, man. Your day started. Woo! I started at 5 this morning. I start talking about current events, you know, I'm going to be the doom and gloomer, so y'all want to go doom and gloom or the farm, political, religious? Well, that's why I threw y'all up here so we can talk. Don't make me do all the talking. And me too, Belt Loop, man. To me, Chevy's just got the best ride. I mean, I'm in my vehicle so much, I probably average 60,000 miles a year. So I'm in it a lot, and to me the ride is that's what makes the truck. Yeah, doom and gloom, where to start? Well, it ain't, you know, the way I look at it, NCK, it ain't doom and gloom, it's just really the reality that we live in. I mean, you can call it doom and gloom, I guess. I like to call it the Twilight Zone because everything is totally screwed. Insane world. Oh. I see it all as lies, man. Lies, lies, lies. Deceptions, cover up, distractions. I don't even remember what town that was, JW. I mean, you know, there's a bunch of people that get on my channel, and I can tell by watching and listening to them, and, you know, they understand what's going on. I mean, unfortunately for us, the people that are aware, I've used the analogy before, this, you know, the world operates on a herd mentality. I mean, there are so many people that you're going to operate and go with the herd. Whatever decision is made, you're pretty much going to be forced in that direction. Hey, Arkwall man, thanks for stopping in. And it's not that it's whether you have that choice, whether you want to or don't. You know, people are going that direction. I mean, it's just like a new car. The latest, greatest, almighty technology that's put into every new car, you may not want that as a person, you know? Me, I'd much prefer a simpler vehicle without all the oodads and doodads and electronic crap. But you can't buy that anymore. I mean, you know, everything that you buy is going to be computer driven, full of computers. Well, why don't you just go buy an old 1970 truck? Like I said, I drive 60,000 miles a year. A 1970 ain't gonna hold out the mileage that's put on that you need. That goes for everything. Our political views, our medical insurance, our taxes, everything that we do is based around the herd mentality. And if you think you're gonna leave the herd, I mean, you know, you get out there on the edge and you get to roaming by yourself, and we all know what happens. Not many people want to live that way. Yeah, exactly, Beltwood. We all do it voluntarily, and really it's I do it in protest. I mean, we do it voluntarily because that's the herd mentality. You got to move along with everybody. Everything that we do. And it's been that way, you know, for a good 100 years, probably 150. Most of us were born and raised into this system. Every person in this chat, I don't care how old you are, I mean, since you were born and understood what was going on, you knew paying taxes were just going to be part of your life. That's the old saying. There's only two things guaranteed, taxes and death. So, you know, your whole life you've been taught, pay your taxes. You don't pay your taxes, you know, they're going to show up at your door and throw you in a cage. And we've all seen in the last couple of months where all of our hard-earned tax dollars are going. All of the corruption that, you know, and I say that sarcastically, you know, all of the corruption that Elon and Trump and, you know, the new government has found is just yeah, Jason, exactly. But all of this corruption, you know, billions and billions of dollars, and that's a B, billions and billions, hundreds of billions of dollars that the new government has found in fraud and corruption and wasteful spending. Those hundreds of billions of dollars are drops in the bucket. Everybody says, oh, well, you know, you got to start somewhere, which is true. But when you look at how there's, you know, the plan still moves forward. All of these hundreds of billions of dollars, and to make the American taxpayer feel warm and fuzzy and not just red or blue, but to make everybody feel warm and fuzzy, we're going to write you a $5,000 check. I mean, for the last 150 years of corruption and theft and fraud that we have laid upon you, the American taxpayer, we're going to send you a check for $5,000. Make everybody feel warm and fuzzy. Yet nothing has really changed. All of this corruption and fraud that they found, not only are, small-time, insignificant judges stopping the president's orders, but the overall, what they are doing is drops in the bucket. And it ain't bashing on Trump or Elon. Not that I got, I got mixed feelings about both of those guys and the way that things are occurring. I told y'all before, even if Trump has our best interest in mind, the American people, if he truly has our best interest in mind and is going to do the things that need to be done in order to right the ship, okay, get us in the right direction, all right, make America great again, I don't know that the masses, general public, are ready for the changes that are going to have to occur. I mean, I've been hearing the last couple of days, now Social Security's getting messed with. And we all know how much fraud goes on in Social Security. Again, it's going to be billions and billions and hundreds of billions of dollars. But if they go in there and start digging around, they're going to find. Well, in order to check all of this and shut it all down and make the changes that need to be made and cut the fat, how is that going to affect everybody on Social Security? You think it's going to be an easy process through that and no mistakes are going to be made and the people that deserve and are entitled to their Social Security are still going to get it? We all know how the government operates, and there ain't nothing efficient about it. They're proving that every day. And yet we got the faith that they're going to be able to take care of this. What kind of fraud and corruption do you think is filling the void where all of this other fraud and corruption is being removed? What do you think is filling that space? Oh great, they're going to lay off 45,000 IRS agents. Okay? And that all sounds good. That's how they put the to you. The headline sounds good. 45,000 IRS agents. We'll all clap to that, right? And what do you think is going to fill the position of those 45,000 IRS agents? What was the first thing that Trump gave $500 billion for? AI governance. They didn't tell you it was going to be AI governance. They told you it was going to be AI that was going to help you. Now we're going to be able to make a vaccine that's specifically for you. No more of this, let's just dose the masses and see what happens, okay? Now we're going to give you AI that's going to solve cancer. It's going to cure cancer for you. Come on, guys. Surely you'll let them give you a shot if it's going to cure whatever ails you. So $500 billion in AI. Who do you think is going to replace those IRS agents? You think AI is going to do that? Absolutely. Exactly, PJ. How hard is the AI going to crunch the numbers on you as a taxpayer, all right? How hard is AI going to crunch those numbers? Before, you had at least humans involved, whether they were heartless bastards or not. A lot of things you could, get by with this owner writing off dog food as security. Writing off them vehicles and writing off expenses and writing off all of these things. And now AI is going to crunch those numbers, not people. They don't have to take your word anymore for what you made. AI can do the job of those 45,000 IRS agents 10 times over. It is going to be able to nitpick and number calculate and figure and reference against every tax code that has ever been on the books in seconds. If even seconds. Not only that, it's going to be doing millions and millions and millions at a second. AI is already in a very large control of our lives already, and people, they're oblivious to it. I mean, all this new, latest, greatest technology that people are still so oohed and awed and wowed about is really old. I mean, just like Tesla, everybody is all oohing and ahhing over Teslas and the self-driving cars and this very vehicle that I'm in right now. I can take my hands right off of the wheel and this truck will drive itself down the road. That's AI technology. It's just a matter of years before the AI is going to be driving the cars everywhere. There's no need for you to do anything. You get in it and push a button and it's going to take you where you want to go. And for the biggest part, just like this truck, when I get in it and start driving, it picks the closest place that I most frequently visit and gives it to me on my maps, like as if I didn't know where I was going anyway, but it tells me that the truck knows where I'm going. It's being tracked, it's being monitored. Which again, all of the new vehicles that you would buy will have that technology built into it. It's not an option. Back in the day, OnStar used to be an option you could get on your truck. Now they all got little black boxes. They know exactly where the truck is being, where it's going, where, how fast, how many stops, were you speeding, blah, blah, blah. AI is going to do all that. The airplanes that you fly on. I mean, how many near misses have we had in the past few days, the last couple of weeks? How many crashes? If AI was flying those airplanes, none of those near misses or some of those collisions never would have happened. AI can do it. Jobs? How's the jobs market out there? We're all hearing in the mainstream news 15,000 laid off here, 10,000 laid off there, 100,000 laid off there, 100,000 laid off here. The jobs are only going to get harder and harder to find. Because as time passes here day by day, AI and robotics are going to take over a lot of those jobs. There's no need for Susie to answer the phone anymore at Dow Chemical. They have a robot AI that can do it and get your phone call to where it needs to go. How many places do you call today where you actually speak to a person? How many AI prompts do you have to go through to even get to a real person? When you get to that real person, is that person even in America? Do they speak English? What are the chances of those people being able to actually help you with your problem? Everything is that way now. I hate to point the finger at any specific group of person, but when was the last time you really got any good customer service? When was the last time you had something made or manufactured and just got the bare minimum required? you had to talk to 6 people to get the part you needed ordered, and the part they sent you was the wrong part. Everything. Our whole political system. You know, what's the old saying? Divide and conquer. Divide and conquer. A nation divided will never stand. How divided are we? Could you see the divide last week when the president addressed the nation? Pretty much addressing the world, not just our nation. I mean, you know, it was made for us, but us being America, a lot of what we do affects the world. How divided was that room in there? I mean, that's you witnessed the political system in action right there. Half of the group is all smiles, they're all clapping, they're all cheering, they're all yelling, and the other half of the group basically pretty much split right down the middle. They're sitting there, frowns and holding up their signs and protesting, and 100% complete opposite of the other side. And you know, the Republicans did the same thing 4 years ago. They're 2 wings of the same bird that are leading us down the same road. It doesn't matter which side that you're on. They're both going the same direction. The masses will never understand that. That's why they've developed the 2-party political system. Everything that you see is the system working exactly how they designed it to work, going exactly in the direction they want it to go. Keep them divided, right versus left. They couldn't do anything together. You know, I'm not a Democrat or a Republican or an independent. I don't vote for the system. I don't mind telling people that. I don't really give 2 shits what you think of me, say about me, feel about me. I don't see nobody down here paying my bills, taking care of my kids, doing the thing that needs to be done. Ain't nobody taking care of me but me. So, you know, most people's opinion is kind of irrelevant. That's how I would assume it is for most of y'all out there. But the people on the right they're just as bad as the people on the left. They've got this belief that, you know, Trump is going to come in and save them, and, you know, I don't know. I don't pay enough attention to it to sway my mind one way or the other. What I look at is the last 100 years of what our government has done to the American people and to the world. Right? It's way bigger than just us here. It is the world. Our corrupt government has, let's say, taken more advantage of the world than the other countries, because the other countries do the same thing. Europe is doing the same thing right now with Ukraine. And I fully think that very few people probably even remember what started the war over in Ukraine. I mean, you got to go back a good, 10 years with the CIA. I mean, this is a very long, ongoing ordeal here. And most people don't. They're not worried about, what happened last week. Much less 10 years ago, or who started that, or what actually started it. How corrupt is the system? Zelensky, a guy that we've given $350 billion to, billion, B with a B, and that's just the number that they're telling us, all right? $350 billion. So he goes and makes a deal with the king in UK last week for their rare earth minerals, that I guess everybody is hoping is there. He goes and makes a deal with the king to pay back the UK their money that they've basically given to the war effort, and future money that they're going to give to the war effort, and discuss their tactic. And then Zelensky runs over here to the U.S. to get more money from us and get our security and get our military over there protecting them. Basically war with Russia. Which we all know how that deal wound up, sour deal. Trump throws Zelensky out of the White House, blah, blah, blah. Probably all staged, all for television, all, to make the people feel warm and fuzzy about where their money's going. He leaves, goes back to Europe, cries to all of them over there, and Europe joins in behind him. They're going to pay for it now. Europe's going to send troops. Europe's going to do this. Europe's going to do that. Now they've got their own $1 trillion military budget. Europe's going to do all of this stuff. How many people actually realize that probably 70% of the energy that Europe uses comes from Russia? Well, look at what's going on over there. So you got Europe that's going to fund the war over in Ukraine. Zelensky's on and off. Trump's on and off with the peace deal. We're in, we're out. They're signing for minerals here. They're not signing. The deal's up. The deal's changed. We got to give security. All of this crap over rare earth minerals, 350 billion, 500 billion, the number all over the charts. How many of y'all realize that the actual real deal going on underneath the table is between Putin and Russia for $7 trillion worth of rare earth minerals? I heard a guy talking about it the other day. Russia is more than willing to sell the rest of the world their minerals, oil, gas, lithium, whatever. There are bigger deals on the table than Ukraine, bigger things going on. It's a little choppy, PJ. It shows I still got good signal here, but we're getting a little closer to town over here, so maybe it'll hang on a little while longer. I just don't trust our government in general. For the last 100 years, they've done nothing for the American people or for the world. Death and destruction, lies and corruption. The rich get richer, the poor get poorer. That game plan hasn't changed 100 to 150 years. And if you think the system at play, and you can call them whoever you want, the cabal or the deep state or, the Illuminati. I mean, whichever road you want to take this down, all right, it's still the same people in control. They've had this system going on for 100, 125, 150 years. You think they're just going to allow someone to come in and change all that and take all their money away? The only reason why all of this corruption and fraud is being let out and the people finding out about it is because they want that to happen. They want you to feel good about what's going on with the current government. They're going to straighten it out. It's going to be okay. We're going to send you a $5,000 check. Look at what we're doing for y'all. Y'all peasants, take your $5,000, be happy, own nothing. Maybe that $5,000 will give you that next breath of air that you're going to need to live for the few months. I mean, it's all really just a ploy. Just like Trump saying he's going to abolish the IRS. Oh, well, yeah, you know, during the campaign, oh, yeah, the IRS, we got to get rid of them, and ATF, we got to get rid of them, and, you know, we're going to get rid of all this stuff and do all this and blah, 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 and, yeah, well, nothing's really happened. I mean, they're still talking about abolishing the IRS. What did he say in his speech the other night? You say anything about really abolishing the IRS? The only thing I heard about taxes in there was they're going to ease the taxes on the tips, and they're going to ease the taxes on the overtime, and they're going to ease the taxes on people on Social Security. To me, that's a lot different than, you know, abolishing the IRS. They're barely scraping the surface up there. And don't get me wrong, it's all, you know, probably for the betterment. But what's going to be replacing all of that? You can believe that AI is going to be a very big part of the world's future. I was talking with a guy the other day, and, you know, I'm no computer guru or whatever you want to call them, but I understand to some degree the amount of technology that the government already has that most people would not even imagine is real, much less they're using it on you today. We all hear about quantum computers and Google's Willow, and the military has their own AI. I heard a story the other day about how the military's already using AI. They've been using it for years and years. They're just going to implement it more on you. The digital IDs, the tracking of everything that you buy. Your carbon tax, how much fuel you use, how much you travel. Where do you think the 15-minute cities come from? You don't think a carbon tax ain't possible? Ask the Canadians up there about their carbon tax. Yeah, it's all great. They're going to do away with your IRS taxes, and they're going to give us an ERS, a tariff tax. I mean, it's only been a couple of months now. Have y'all seen the prices go down? Let me tell you the mentality of the people. Some of the people around me. One person around me. All right, and I kind of hold a little respect for this person. They've done pretty well for themselves. You know, retired, not elderly, but you know, business owners, pretty smart people. I wouldn't say that they're of prepping or homesteading lifestyle, but they grow a garden, and they're against the pokey poke, so they got some intelligence in there in them. But this lady calls me up the other day and says that she went by our local grocery store, Brookshire's, and said eggs were $9 for an 18 count. I don't buy eggs at the store. I know that's high. But she said she just wasn't going to pay $9 for an 18 count of eggs, and wanted to know if she could just buy eggs from me, because she knew I had chickens and probably had eggs. And I said, well, sure. You ain't even got to buy them. Just come by here and get them. They're free. I got 18 right here. My incubators are full. I'm feeding eggs to the pigs. I mean, I give eggs to my neighbors and me and blah, blah, blah. But, free 18 count of eggs. Just come by and pick them up. Well, she minutes later, and she said, well, I stopped at another store over here and they were only $6, so I went ahead and bought them. I'll be okay, thank you. Now, I don't know if y'all are aware or not, but the egg shortage is so great that the U.S. is importing eggs basically from anywhere they can get them, which, again, I don't understand their lies and disinformation, because eggs in Mexico are $2 a dozen. Now, why we can't buy them from Mexico, I don't have no idea. Even with the 25% tariff on them, they're still only going to be $253. But the mentality of this lady, I texted her back and I said, it's not egg, it's what's in the egg. And I attached a copy of an article about the U.S. importing, I don't know, it was 15,000 tons, 2 or 3 million eggs from Turkey. Like we have any control of what Turkey is doing to grow their eggs, what kind of food they're using, what kind of chemicals, what kind of modifiers, vaccines, shots, all of this stuff that goes into turkeys. I said, not the price, it's more or less what's in the egg. You can stop by and get free range, not 100% non-GMO, bug eaten, out of the cage, free roam chicken eggs for free. And you'd rather pay $6 for store-bought eggs that who knows where they came from. I just don't get the mentality of people. While we're on the chicken talk matter, y'all know that the vaccine has been approved for avian flu in chickens. So all of the chicken that you're going to buy at the store or eggs have all been given the shot. And I don't really think that egg chicken situation is going to improve too much. It was my understanding that they killed off about half of the chickens that were in America, of the production chickens. So, even to start again and rehatch those chickens, it takes my chickens about 7 months. 8 maybe, before they will start laying. So you got a good, 7 or 8 months before those chickens ever even actually get back into production. And those chickens are going to be vaccinated with the shot. So, you know, any egg they lay, depending on how far you want to go down that rabbit hole, is contaminated. Oh, trust me, Riverway, we dehydrate them and pickle them and hard boil them and eat them and give them away. And I probably got about 50 laying birds right now. So 50 birds, I mean, they laid off there a little bit through the winter, but the springtime coming on, they're starting to lay now. I've got incubators, my incubators are full. Yeah, Jennifer, we got a freeze dryer and it runs, but you know, I got to get Ann to do all that freeze drying because I ain't there enough. But we freeze dry everything. We were. I haven't already run in the past few times I've been home. Everything is crazy, guys, and I mean, look at the financials. I mean, few people are aware how the financial system works, and it's up and it's down, and the market's up and it's down, and stocks are up and down, and the interest rate is this and that, and I mean, it all culminates all in together. People are getting laid off. Interest rates are up. I mean, I've been hearing, you know, the housing market is having all kinds of issues. I mean, here, even in Texas, I mean, it's an all-time high of available houses. Well, that only stands to reason if people can't go to the bank and get a loan. I've also heard that 60% of the population wouldn't qualify for a loan today. And if you do qualify for that loan, what, you're looking at 8, 10, 12%? I mean, I've seen the guys on YouTube talking about car payments and interest rates on cars, and it is outrageously insane. Financing something nowadays is just, you know, crazy. We're a debt-based society. If banks ain't making loans, they ain't making any money. People don't have money to spend. All of this stuff, you know, that the government has been talking about now the last 2 months. Tariff. Oh, well, you know, you got companies, you know, now that are going to come back to the U.S. and start manufacturing. What good is it going to do those companies to come back here and start manufacturing? People don't have the money to buy the stuff they're manufacturing. Oh, well, Honda's going to open up a new car plant, and, you know, Detroit's coming back, and the car lots are full of brand new cars right now. The tariff's on, the tariff's off, we're charging them, they're charging us, everything's reciprocal. Who is going to pay for those tariffs? You don't think companies aren't going to add in the cost of that tariff right back to their product? Got y'all a little crooked there, guys. Sorry. Oops. Let's see if I can give you a little better view. No, nobody wants to work anymore. Why would people want to go to work? And what are you going to go to work for? $10, $15 an hour, $20 an hour? I mean, even at, you know, $20, $25 an hour, you're barely even going to pay your bills. That's renting, not even buying. You're barely making enough money to pay bills and scrape by. How are you going to save up $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 for a down payment on a house? land, that farm that everybody wants. I think that made the situation even worse. Tilted y'all, sorry about that. I don't know, guys. The war situation, it's on, it's off, it's peace, it's here, it's there. Wait, the Middle East is fixing to blow up. Oh wait, China's ready for war. They're ready for whatever kind of war. You want a tariff war? You want a hot war? You want a kinetic war? What do you want? They're ready. What's up, Freedom? I didn't see you in there, man. Yeah, exactly. At $25, you know, it's... How many people out there, how many companies out there are hiring $25 an hour? How many companies out there are laying off $100,000 a year employees? Look at the cleaning that Trump is fixing to do on the government, laying off hundreds of thousands of people. Not that that's a bad thing, but, you know, it's still hundreds of thousands of people unemployed. Adding to the situation. Of course, there's more houses on the market. Nobody can afford to buy a house now at 10% interest. Oh, it's okay. Trump is going to make them lower the interest rate. You know what happens with a lower interest rate? That's what we've witnessed the last 20 years with lower interest rates. You lower the interest rates where everybody can afford that house, and they go out and buy a house that they can't afford. All the houses are bought up. Well, we can raise the price on the house that we want to sell, because you know it's a seller's market right now. Buy that house that's 3 times overpriced. I'd have to say probably, I don't know about California, but I know Florida is taking some hell of a hits. The people in Florida too. It ain't just the price of property in Florida, but it's the taxes and the insurance. The property taxes here in Texas suck too. The whole deal with our taxes. I mean, come on, folks. This country was founded and fought, and men died because of a 2% T on tax. 2% tax on tea. I know there were a few other little things that went in there along with that, but you know, basically a tax and some laws that a council was making over in Britain, sending over here with the captain of the ship trying to enforce those laws and taxes upon us. That's why they stood up and claimed to be free. I don't think most people can even understand the amount of money that they have found just in the last month, because the first month they didn't do a damn thing. I mean, other than signing, you know, 100 or 200 or 300 executive orders under the new tyrannical president, those aren't laws. Those are just executive orders. Exactly why the little judges are able to overturn the president. That's why nothing gets done in Congress or the Senate. It takes years and years and years to get a bill passed through, unless it's something that they want. You know, amazingly, when they want a law passed for them or a bill passed for them, it comes right up on the floor and it's right through just in a couple of days. Boom, bam. government. And their insanity is... The mentality of people that are depending on the government, their insanity is even worse. Crazy, man. I don't know what to think anymore. I mean, just being a conspiracy theory isn't... that doesn't even scratch the surface anymore. I mean, all of the conspiracy theory where we thought the government was wasting money and corrupt and all of that, you know, it's all true, and it's just, you know, the new normal. Everybody's sitting around waiting on the JFK files to come out. What is it that you're going to learn in the JFK files that are going to change any part of your life? I mean, we all know the government had a hand in it. Does it matter to what degree, how deep their hand was in the cookie jar? The fact that their hand was in the cookie jar is all you need to know. My mouth keeps letting that phone get crooked. The Epstein files. Y'all are going to sit around and wait and think that whatever information they give you on the Epstein files is going to make a difference. When, you know, the majority of the people already know who was involved. All of the big names that you think were involved, including Trump. Well, they're going to release it, but they got to redact it for national security. What part of whatever it was that they were doing on those islands with those people, which we all know, what part of that has anything to do with national security? Other than the fact that our politicians were involved. Probably most of them. And you think the government's going to release that information? We already all know. What difference does it make? What difference is the P. Diddy files going to make? We all know in Hollywood and in the music industry, they are all involved. From the biggest to the smallest. The majority of them are. What difference is that going to make? Because so-and-so got exposed like we didn't already know. The biggest one, Billy Gates. Look at everything that he does. From the farmland, to the spraying of the skies, to the computers, to the control, to Event 201 and telling us that the next pandemic is going to be the one. Look at everything he's involved with and what's happened. You think any of those people